Hello.
Rose, congrats on the win. Seems like you're really happy with your performance. Can you talk a little bit about how you felt you fought in this win?
Yeah, I was really happy with my just my ability to just go out there and fight and not just worry about being perfect, you know. So there was moments, obviously, where I felt like I was kind of thinking a little bit, but I was really proud of myself that I just kind of let it go and just not worry about the outcome so much and just fight.
Yeah, you've trained with her in the past, so the ways that you guys have trained, obviously, that stays in the gym. But now that it's done, was it more or less what it looked like in sparring when you guys trained together?
You know, there was, I think, it was more or less. I think in training, she was a little more tentative on the feet, more like backward stepping. Like there was maybe only a couple of times where she would come forward a little bit. In the fight, she was a little bit more aggressive in the second round, I think, from my memory. But yeah, I would say it would always be a very like she would shoot more, I think, too, in training. So so that was something a little different, I think. And I think that I grapple with her more in this fight than in training.
And how important was getting a victory here? Because you're obviously trying to get the belt at 125 pounds, and you've had some mixed results here and there. Did you feel the pressure of that you needed a win to sort of keep those title hopes alive?
Yes, and also I definitely felt the pressure just fighting somebody who's lower in the rankings and knowing how good she is also, because I mean, yeah, I think she's a little better than what her rankings kind of say, especially because she's been she always kind of had to fight beneath her as well. So it was good that I gave her this opportunity. I think she deserved that because she was always fighting people beneath her, and she's been on a long win streak. But so obviously that ranking doesn't really reflect hers, I guess, exactly. But yeah, I felt the pressure, but I guess I always do. And but at the same time, I kind of was able to brush it off because I knew that's what I had to do in order to perform well. Because yeah, you can't be worried about all that stuff. Well, you just, like I said, I just had to worry about fighting, and I did that. But it was definitely a struggle.
So you fought down in the rankings this time around. I'm assuming for your next fight, you want to do the opposite, right? You want to fight up. So there isn't a ton of names ahead of you, but out of the names that are available, like, is there one that stands out more than the other that interests you for your next fight?
When I originally was looking to get back in there before this fight, I was looking at Viviane, but she's matched up with Tracy, so not that one. I would, anybody. I know I just fought Aaron, so that wouldn't make sense. Or, I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. They probably wouldn't want to do that. So I don't know. I have to look and see. I mean, there's Natalia, there's Alexa Grasso. Yeah, I'm kind of blanking right now. And I just, I also fought Menon. So, man, any of those girls, anybody that's in the top, 5 or whatever, that would be awesome. And yeah, if something crazy happens and I'm deserving of a title shot, I'd love that as well. But, I want to be deserving. So whatever it takes to get that.
The Alexa Grasso fight would be fun.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, she's actually, it'll be kind of a full circle moment. I remember back when I was in Invicta and she was like still coming up, and she came up to me and was like, "Oh, I love you so much, like you're such an inspiration." And now she's like, became champion in this weight class, and then so yeah, that would be kind of crazy to see us, so maybe that happens. I don't know.
And lastly, for me, you're probably still the biggest name in the division right now as far as the contenders go. So I would assume, like, your road back to a championship fight is not too long. So how far do you think you are now that you have this victory?
How far do I think?
Yeah, like how do you think you're 1-2 fights away at most?
Yeah, I would say at least, or I mean, I would say probably just one fight. I would, yeah. Sorry.
Well, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, Rose.
Yeah.
We talked about you training with Miranda. Is that something you'd be willing to go back and do now that this fight's over? Or is that just a different sort of period of your life?
Yeah, I think so. She's a great training partner. Like she actually mentioned that in the cage, we'll see each other in a couple weeks, kind of a thing. So even though I think she was like, she kind of hurt her knee or something happened. So yeah, I'll be expecting to see her at some point, we're like I said, we're good training partners for each other. And, I think there was a little bit of misunderstanding between us going into this one and how this whole fight came about in general and some of the stuff she was saying. So, but yeah, after that, you have nothing but respect for the other person. She definitely fought more, aggressive than I was expecting her to. So I have a lot of respect for her for doing that and, bringing the fight and making it exciting. And so, yeah, so I'll be looking forward to seeing her in the gym.
No, about that misunderstanding, I couldn't quite tell, but it looked like you guys talked afterwards and you were saying that you never called for this fight.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think because it was, from my understanding in the media, it was, and I wasn't like watching every interview she ever did, but it sounded like as if she was saying that maybe like Pat was calling for this fight or something like that, and that's like completely opposite of what I remember. If anything, I just remember taking note how quickly she wanted the opportunity to step in for Macy last year. So I kind of took note of that, because we just. And I have no problems with fighting people that I train with, but if we just did a whole training camp together, I'm probably going to want to reset before we have a fight together. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have us have a training camp apart, in order for that to be at least remove any weird feelings. So there's still going to be weird feelings no matter what. It is what it is. Like we're fighters, and so there's emotions, and you're punching each other, and you're, competing. But at the end of the day, we just kind of figured out and put it to the side. Yeah.
And the last one from me, you mentioned it looked like she hurt her knee in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what sort of happened? It also looked like maybe you dropped her. I couldn't quite tell what happened in that sort of.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her knee. She obviously hurt her knee or something. I know for sure I dropped her though because I felt that punch land. I saw her eyes kind of roll back in the back of her head, and when I jumped on top of her, and I don't know if she heard it at that moment because she wasn't like in a. I guess I was having heavy pressure on top of her, but I also felt like there was opportunities for her to stand up a little quicker, and it felt like that sense of urgency as much. So, but yeah, I definitely felt like I dropped her. I felt that,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Rose over here. Congratulations on your win. You've beat 3 ranked opponents, and you said that a couple names that you threw out there was Natalia Silva and Alexa Grasso. Which one do you think would be the better matchup for you if you had to choose?
Yeah, I think Alexa Grasso would probably be stylistically a little bit. I think a little bit better for me. I think Natalia's her speed is very tricky, and she's very she sustains it, for a very long time. So yeah, she would be a little, I think, more of a trickier fight, but I think just with my experience and everything like that, I think either of those girls, they're and Alexa has the experience, as far as like the title fights and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I would say leaning more towards Alexa would be a little bit better of a matchup for me, but Natalia, I think I match up really well with as well. I just have to be very smart and have a good game plan for her.
Thank you. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
One more. What sort of timeline would you be looking to get back then?
Ooh, I have to think about that. I started with just my new, like, kind of rededicating my spiritual journey and my walk with God and stuff. I kind of been observing the biblical feast, so there's like in October. So I would have to like think about that and kind of navigate that. And I want to go back to Lithuania to see my family. There was a lot of Lithuanian fans out there too today, so it just made me think I got to go back there and see the family and stuff. And so given those things, I have no injuries, so I can, given the right opportunity, I could definitely be back in there. I'd say fairly shortly. Thank you, guys.